Voice is not coming. I think it's coming. Student, your name is student. Okay. So I think the voice is coming, right? Because all of like everyone is hearing now. Guys, everyone, am I audible to you guys?
Yes, sir, your voice is
Okay
completely
then.
audible.
Okay. Student, please check your speaker, buddy. Maybe that might be a problem. So, okay. So I think we are live now, right?
Yes, sir, we are live.
Okay. Thank you so much, Paridhi. Okay, so welcome, good evening, guys. Welcome to this advanced CSS session where we're going to like have a lot of fun in the next 3 days with CSS. Okay, so welcome everyone on Zoom. Good evening. Like a really great welcome to all of you, and welcome everyone on YouTube. Hopefully you can hear me. Please, guys, on YouTube, let me know if you're watching on YouTube. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible to you guys? Can you see my screen, guys, on YouTube? And don't worry, guys, I'm watching both the chats right now. I'm watching the chat on Zoom and also watching the chat on YouTube. So just let me know and put all your doubts, whatever you have about CSS, whatever doubts you have about HTML or in general web development related. I'll try to answer all of it. Okay. Okay, now I can see yeses on YouTube as well. Okay, guys. So welcome all to this advanced CSS session. Okay, I hope you guys are really excited to learn something great in CSS because whatever we're going to do will like build basically on the advanced CSS. Now, when I say advanced CSS, that doesn't mean that it will be a different kind of CSS. It will be the CSS that we use, but maybe some new properties, and maybe we'll make something that we think are impossible using CSS. So those are the things that we'll build here. Okay. Sir, React second session is not available. It is Bhanu. Maybe you have to find it on YouTube. And if it is not, just go on letsupgrade.com. Just enroll for free in the React course, and you'll be able to find the React second session. And if you're asking about React Essentials, maybe that is removed. So I have to check up with the team if it is removed or if it is there. So don't worry, I'll find it out. Just tag me, just go on the community, write the same doubt, tag me, and I'll see what like what team says, and I'll answer you there. Okay. You can't hear me. Like few people are complaining that they can't hear me. I hope everyone can
We
hear
can
me,
hear you,
right?
sir.
Okay,
We can
yes.
hear you, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. Tamil Saran, student, please guys check your speakers once. I think I am audible. Okay. Cool then, guys. Cool. And yes, someone are asking, like some people are also asking what are the prerequisites. So don't worry, you don't need to like know a lot if you want to learn whatever I'm gonna teach here. But if you know a little bit of HTML and a little bit of CSS, that will be really great help because we are focusing on the advanced CSS and not on the basic CSS, right? But I'll still try to teach you all the concept of CSS. I'll try my best. But let's move ahead. Okay, so first of all, tell me like how many of you can like if I like how many of you know HTML and CSS, even a little bit, like 30% or 40% of CSS, that you can do a little bit of CSS. Just give me a yes in the chat if you know CSS and HTML. Okay, I know, and also I'm getting 80%. That's great. That's really great, guys. That's really great. Okay, that's amazing. So that is that is all about the prerequisite. You just have to know a little bit of HTML and a little bit of CSS. That's it. Okay. So I hope that you guys know me. And if you don't know, don't worry. My name is Saurabh Gupta, and I'll be your session trainer or I'll be your CSS trainer for the next 3 days. And let us become friends and let's start this 3-day journey, 3-day CSS session. And yep, let's start it then. Okay, cool. And also you guys can tell me in the chat, like from which parts of India are you so that I can see your, like I can see from all over the country, how many people are there, from which parts they are, and from where you're going to learn the CSS. Okay. Okay, that's great. I can see a lot of people are coming here. Okay, Mern CRUD app second session. I didn't find it on LMS. Ayush, let me talk to the team. I think you'll be like, you should be able to find it, but let me talk to the team, Ayush, on YouTube. Let me check. It should be available. It should be available. Okay, so I can see people coming from different places. That's really great, guys. I can't explain how percent because always update, but try to. Okay, cool, cool. Not a problem. You don't have to like say percent. It was just like how much you know, but that's cool. Because yes, CSS is something that keeps upgrading. Now we are at the version 3. Okay, guys. So let's start. So I'm thinking, I'm assuming that you guys know HTML so that I don't have to explain what exactly is HTML. and what exactly is CSS, so that we can start with the topics directly. But still, I'll explain you a little bit about them. If you don't know, if some people are new here, I'll still explain what exactly is HTML and what exactly is CSS, so that if you're new, you'll still be able to get it. Okay, now let me tell you what exactly we are going to learn. When I say advanced CSS, what exactly we are going to learn, and also what you guys want to learn in CSS. I can also teach you that thing. So we'll just compile all your answers and I'll see what exactly I can teach you in CSS or in advanced CSS. So first of all, I'll tell you what I have planned. So I have planned CSS animation. One thing that people find really tough, people don't understand very easily. So that is something I have planned in this advanced CSS, that is CSS animation, how to do animation in CSS. Okay. Second thing I'm going to teach here is all the transformation, transition related properties. The second thing that people find tough sometimes. Okay. So I'll teach you all the transformation, transition related properties. So that is second thing. And also some properties that people don't use in general, that people don't know that these properties exist. So I'm also going to take one lecture on that. And yes, the third thing that I have planned is how to make your website responsive without using Bootstrap, just by using plain CSS, pure CSS. Bootstrap is also CSS, but let's say without using Bootstrap framework, just by using plain and pure CSS. So I'll build a layout for you, a very basic layout, but I'll teach you how to make your things responsive just by using plain CSS, so that you don't need any framework, just pure HTML and CSS to make your web pages look good and to make your web pages responsive. Okay, so these are the topics that I have in my mind. If you want to also learn what exactly is Flexbox, I can take 15 minutes and teach you that as well. So other than this topic, if you want to learn something, you can just put it in the comment section, in the chat section, and I can see you what you want to learn, because we still have 2 more days and I can figure out a way of teaching them to you. Okay, so you guys are free to tell me what do you want to learn. So if you want to learn Flexbox, if you want to understand grids, you can just tell me there. I can see to it if I can teach you all of that. Okay, 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 so few people are saying grid concept. Yes, so let's see if we definitely get time in the next 2 days. I'll teach you. First priority is whatever I have planned for you: CSS animations, transformation and transition related properties, responsiveness, and let's say if we get time, I'll teach you what exactly is grid, and also yes, how positions work and flex boxes. Okay, let's see, we'll take one lecture on flex boxes and grids. Let's see, I'll decide it after the session, like for today, right? I'll decide it. So like which one I should pick. I should pick Flexbox, or I should pick grid to teach you people, or I should pick both. Let me decide. But today's session is all about CSS animation, and I also show you how to build few things by just using CSS animations that people think are impossible using CSS. I'm also going to teach you that. Okay, everyone. So are we ready? Are we guys ready? Are we guys excited to learn CSS animation? Please let me know in the chats so that we can start. And tomorrow we'll learn also something new, and the day after tomorrow we'll again learn something new. So then let's start. Okay, first of all, I'll introduce you with all the things that I'm going to use here. So I'll use for my output, I'm going to use Google Chrome browser. So I'll also suggest you guys to use Google Chrome because everything looks so good in Google Chrome, right? So I'll also suggest you to use Google Chrome. But if you don't want to, if you're familiar with Mozilla, or if you're familiar with Internet Explorer, you can go with that, no problems at all. But I'll suggest you to use Google Chrome. And the code editor that I'm going to use is VS Code, a simple, lightweight, good code editor, one of the most famous code editors going on in the market right now. So this is what I'm going to use. Okay, VS Code. And if and only if, right, if you're familiar with Sublime Text, if you prefer any other editor over VS Code, you can definitely go on and use it. No issues at all. Okay, you can use Sublime Text, you can use Brackets, Atom, anything you want, literally anything. I'm going to use VS Code. And for people who don't know like from where to find VS Code, you can simply go on internet, right, download VS Code, and you should get the first link of the site. Here you can go, simply click on this, and you'll have this. So depending on your OS, yes, you can also use Notepad++ Ganesh. It's totally fine. Just don't use Notepad. Okay, that is one thing I'll suggest not to use. Don't use Notepad. You can go for Notepad++. Totally fine. So this is the place from where you can find VS Code. Now, depending on your OS, just click on that, and it will download a exe file for you. And I hope that you guys know how to install it. Just double click, agree to everything. It's totally fine. and just finish it, and you'll have the VS Code. Okay. So this is the place where you can find VS Code. And now then, let's start. Sir, you will start animation from basics. Yes, exactly from basics, totally from basics. But before that, for people who don't even know what exactly is HTML, what exactly is CSS, I'll give some introduction so that you can understand. Okay, only for people who like don't even know what exactly these things are. Okay, guys. So then let's move on. So for explaining the first part, let me just open Notepad for a minute. Okay, we'll just take 15 to 20 minutes to understand what exactly is HTML and what exactly is CSS. Okay, I hope my Notepad is working. Yep, it is working. Okay, I'm Microsoft Expression Notepad++ VS Code Visual Studio using. Cool, Neelam, totally fine. You can use anything, not a problem at all. Okay, guys, then let's start. So if you know HTML and CSS, what are they? Amazing. If you don't know, not a problem. I'm going to explain you what exactly it is. Okay, let's take 15 minutes and understand all of it. So the first thing that we are going to see here is HTML. Okay, please guys, please focus, everyone, please focus. I'm going to solve all your doubts. Okay, so what exactly is HTML? To start with, HTML is nothing but a language. Just like in computer, if you want to build any software or any website, you have to write code. And to write code, you need a language, right? To build any software, like in a nutshell, to build any software or a mobile app or a website or anything you want to build for PC, you need to write code. And to write code, you need a language. So there are a lot of languages in the world. There are a lot of languages that you can use to write code based on what you're trying to build. For example, if you're building a mobile app, maybe you might need some other language. If you're building a desktop app for Windows, you might need another language. If you're building a desktop app for Mac OS, you might need another language. If you're trying to build a website that you can run on web browsers, you might need some other language. So basically, we have a lot of languages in the world in which we can code, but we have to choose the language depending on what we are trying to build and where it will run, in Mac OS or in mobile, or where our website or application will be available. Okay, so here our focus is to build website. Okay, here our focus is to build a website. So to build a website, we need multiple languages, different kind of languages for different things. So the first language that you require to build a website that will run on browser is HTML. HTML is one of the languages that you use to build your website. So let's see what exactly is the role of HTML in building a website. Okay, so now first thing you should know that a website is nothing but a collection of web pages. That's it. Collection of web pages. In simple terms, I'm talking in very simple terms, no programming thing at all. Very simple. Website is nothing but collection of web pages. Is that clear? That means if you go on a browser, you write www.google.com. The thing that you see right now here is nothing but it's a web page. You search for something like, let's say, Thor. You open this is another web page. You click on link, then another web page opens. So this is another web page, right? So a website is nothing but a collection of web pages, and a web page is nothing but something that you see on the browser at a point of time. That is what you call as a web page. For all the new people here, this is what you have to understand. So the single thing that you see on the browser is nothing but a web page. Okay, simple. And now let's move ahead and let's see what exactly is HTML. Okay, so basically HTML is nothing but a language. The full form is hypertext markup language. Okay, for all the new people, this is the full form of HTML, hypertext markup language. Okay, so basically HTML is a language. This is the full form. I'll tell you what exactly the full form means. Don't worry about it. So HTML is a hypertext markup language. It is used to create web pages and put content in it. HTML is used to create the web pages, and also it helps you to put content in it. Now, when I say put content, what exactly is the content that we have on web page, right? So what exactly are the kind of contents we can have on a web page? What are the contents? We can have text content. You can see here, right? We have text, a lot of text, right? And then we also have images on web pages. So basically another content can be images. We sometimes also have videos on web page, just like YouTube. So we have videos, we have audio, just like Spotify and Ghana.com or something like that, right? So we have text, images, video, audio. We also have list, right? So these are few examples of what kind of content you have on web page. Okay, so what I said, HTML is a language that first of all will help you to create a web page. Cool. Second thing, it will also help you to put content on the web page. And contents, when I say content, I mean this: text, image, video, audio kind of content. HTML will help you in how to put this kind of content in the web page. Is that clear, everyone? Are we clear with the concept? Are we clear what exactly is HTML, everyone? Guys, are we clear with what exactly is HTML? I hope this explanation was simple, right? Cool. Let's move ahead a little. Now, whenever you start writing in a language, there is a way to write it. There is always a formation or a way of writing in that language. Each and every language has their own set of rules and regulations, own way of writing. For example, if you're writing something in C, you write in a form, it has a different formation. If you're writing something in HTML, it has a different formation. Normally, if you write something in English, it has a different formation. So each and every language has a different formation, right? So HTML also is written in something called as tags. HTML is a language which is written in something called as tags. Now, let's see how a tag look like, how a tag looks like. It's very simple. A tag looks like this. You open a bracket, angular bracket, you can call it an angular bracket, or you can call it a greater than sign, then tag, close it, then whatever content you want, you put it here, and then again slash exactly same tag. So this is what you call as an opening of a tag. This is whatever content you want, and this is the closing of a tag. Is that clear? This is not the very detailed explanation you will get, but this is the basic thing, because we are in here for advanced CSS, but this is just an introduction if you don't know at all. Okay, so this is how a tag look like. For example, let's say I have a tag named P, so it will look like this: P, some content, and slash P. So simply remember, this is an opening of a tag, and this is a closing of a tag, and this is a content. Now, there are a lot of tags available in HTML, and each and every tag does something different. Each and every tag will create something different. For example, if you want to create an image on the web page, you have to use a different tag. If you want to write a paragraph on the web page, you have to use a different tag. If you want to create a video on the web page, you have to use a different tag. So basically what I mean here is, for different kind of contents, you're going to need different kind of tags. And basically when I say we're going to learn HTML, that basically means we have to learn what kind of tags are there, which tag does what, and that's it. That's what we learn. I hope we are cleared with this. And tags also have a different name. Tags also have another name. Tags are also called as markups. Tags are also called as markups. That's why we have markup in HTML full form, hypertext markup language. It's a language that uses tags to write itself, right? You use tags to write HTML, right? So markup means tags. That's why you have hypertext markup language. I hope we are clear. So that's all about HTML, guys. The basis, the basic. Now here I'm not going to teach you how to write HTML, because if I do that, then we have to like use one lecture only to learn HTML. So we are not here to learn HTML, but don't worry. We also have sessions for that as well. Don't worry about that. But all these 3 sessions completely belong to advanced CSS. So we're going to focus on that. But this was for the people who don't know what exactly is HTML at all. So I hope we are cleared now. Okay. So HTML is a language which is written in tags or markups, which helps you to create web page and also put contents in it. And the content is created using tags. And we have a different kind of tags for different kind of content. For example, we have an image tag if you want to create an image. We have a video tag if you want to create a video. We have a P tag if you want to create a paragraph. So that's how it goes. I hope we are cleared with this. Everyone, are we cleared with the concept now? So that's what about HTML. Okay. Now then, let's move ahead and let's also learn something about the next language that we're going to use in our 3-day session. Just the intro, that's it, because I hope we are here to learn advanced CSS, so you know the basics of CSS. But if you don't know, I'll explain you what exactly is CSS. Okay. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Don't mind my spellings. If I'm if I'm doing a spelling mistake, don't worry about it. Just try to get my emotions, okay? So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Now, what exactly is the aim of CSS as a language in web development or in creation of a website? So now see, you create all the content using HTML. Let's say you create a paragraph, you create an image, you create a video, audio, list, you create a lot of things using HTML. But you should always know that whatever you create with HTML is like the worst looking. They are just black and white, and they just go one below each other in the web page. They don't have any style, they don't have any size, they don't have any theme to it. So whatever you create, it's going to be black and white, and they will basically go one below each other on the left side of the web page. All the right side will be clean empty. So basically, you can only create content using HTML, but you cannot arrange them, align them, color them, give them size. You cannot style them. Okay, and that's where something like CSS comes in. CSS is a language which works with HTML, and it helps you to apply styling on the content created by HTML. When I say styling, that means giving size to elements, giving colors to elements, aligning them, arranging them, adjusting them at different places, creating a proper layout so that your content is looking beautiful. That's what CSS does. Okay, so HTML only creates the content. That's it. CSS helps you to style the content. Are we cleared, everyone? So that's what CSS does. And we are here to learn advanced CSS. So I'm really hoping that you know HTML and CSS a little bit so that we can move ahead. And if you don't know, don't worry. We have other sessions as well where you can learn what exactly is HTML, how it works, what exactly is CSS, how it works from the basics. Okay. Which language we use to style the mobile app depends in which language you're creating the mobile app, right? If you're creating mobile app in React Native, then you use something like CSS only because it depends on JavaScript. If you're using Flutter to create a mobile app, then it's not styling. Like it is styling, but you don't use any other language. You have all the styling properties inbuilt in Flutter itself in the same language, that is Dart. If you're creating a mobile app using normal Android Studio, and you are using Java as the language, then you use XML to style your things. That is the place where you can mention height, width, arrangement, alignment. So use XML. So basically it depends in which technology you're building your mobile app. So it depends on that, what kind of styling you're using. Okay. So guys, are we cleared? Can we move ahead now? Can we start with the actual things? Are we going to do any website as a project? Yet, not exactly a complete website, but yes, in the last session, I will show you how to create a basic layout and make it responsive as well. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? Cool then. Okay, so that was the intro, guys. So HTML creates the content, CSS styles the content. When I say style, that means all the arrangement. Now, in this case, if you see this behind web page, like if you see this web page behind here, all the things are perfectly styled, arranged, and settled up in a good manner. All the things are layouted in boxes, proper size. Everything is done with CSS. See this shadow and everything. I hope you can see this shadow, these borders and everything are all done by using CSS. That's why CSS is so important. Okay, thanks. But where can we find the notes? Any link? See, for the basics, you can literally go on any website. And if you want to learn more, you can simply go on YouTube, search for Let's Upgrade, and you might be having HTML basics there. You can learn all about HTML here as well. Okay, but these are very basics. You can learn it anywhere. Aces is asking, sir, can you please start only React course basic plus advanced for front end? Yes, why not? Why not? In future, we have plans. In the next weekend, we are also helping you to build, like show you how to build a complete API in Node.js. So we have plans like this. In future, we'll also come up with React projects and everything. So don't worry, we have a lot of plans. Okay, guys, so then let's move ahead and let's start learning CSS animation, assuming that you know what is HTML and CSS. So now let's move ahead and let's create a folder where we'll store all our things. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder inside my work directory. Okay, so I'll create a folder, right click, new folder, and I'll name it ADV CSS. That stands for advanced CSS. Okay, cool. At the end of the session, I'll give you links of learning basic HTML and CSS. Don't worry, guys. At the end of the session, I'll give you some links of learning basic HTML and CSS. Okay, don't worry, everyone. Okay, so now I have a folder named advanced CSS. Now let's go in VS Code and open this folder. So file, open folder. Okay, and where is our folder? So it's in work, and here we go, advanced CSS. Let's open it. Select the folder. Okay, guys, please, everyone, now please focus. We're going to learn a lot of things today, so you guys have to literally focus on everything that we're going to learn. Okay, it's animation, so if you don't focus, you'll definitely find it tough. Focus, and it's really easy, really very easy. Okay, so then let's create a HTML file first. So I'm going to name it index.html. So this is my HTML file, and I'm also going to create a CSS file where I can write my CSS. So I'll name it index.css. And guys, please, if you have any doubts related to attendance, where to register and everything, you can ask it at the end. I'll answer everything. Okay, right now focus on the things that I'm going to show you, teach you, and ask doubt about that, so that we can learn very easily. We can learn everything very easily. Okay, so please focus, guys. So now I have created a HTML file and a CSS file. So let's go with the basics. So HTML, and for people watching in mobile, I'll just zoom my web page a little bit. Yeah, here we go. I'll remove all these meta tags. Right now we don't need them, so I'll remove all the meta tags. And let's go here in document. Instead of giving title as document as title, I'll simply go and write animation. Yeah, here we go, animation. And I also have to link my CSS page with the HTML page, so that my HTML page understands from where to get my styles. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, and then simply write link relation equals style sheet, and hyperlink reference. You have to give the page link here, right? So simply give index.css, and now my page is linked. Okay, now my page, the CSS page, is linked with my HTML page, and now whatever CSS I write, it will go with my HTML content. That's cool. Then now then let's test it. So to test it, let's create a div, and let's simply give it a class of, let's say, 1. Okay, let's go here, write .1, and give it a height. So guys, don't worry. See, this is a class that helps you to, for people who don't know at all, like CSS at all, don't worry. So this is the class that we give to elements, so that we can select elements. Like we can tell CSS on which elements to work. So I have given a class of 1 to this element, and here I am writing .1. You write dot basically when you want to say that, okay, fine, I'm selecting an element with its class name. So here we have given the class name, right, 1, and you write dot whenever you want to select an element using the class name. So I write .1. That means select the element or work on the element having class 1. So now whatever CSS you write in the brackets of, like in this curly braces, will be applied on this div element. That's how this works. Okay, simple and easy. Okay, now then let's move ahead. Let's go and give it a height of 100 pixels. I'm assuming that you guys know all of this. Let's give width of 100 pixels, and then let's give it a background color of red. Okay, now let's run the page and let's see if it is working. So to run it, I'm simply going to right click on my HTML page, copy the path. Let's go in the browser, simply any browser, paste it, and here we go. Can you guys see we have a box here? We have a box that is having a height of 100 pixel, width of 100 pixel, and background color red. So that means our CSS and HTML files are linked and they are working perfectly. Okay, now you can see there is a gap here. Okay, there is a gap here. This gap is because of body's margin. By default, your body, this body tag, has a default margin of 8 pixel, and I don't want that. Okay, that's why we have a gap here, because this body tag has a margin of 8 pixel. But now body is not the only element that has this feature of having a default margin. There are a lot of elements that will create in future that can have a margin or a padding by default. So can I do something to remove all the by default things so that they only follow my instructions, so that they don't have anything by default? So yes, we can do that. We have a universal selector. We have a universal selector like star, or you can call it asterisk. This is normally called asterisk, but you can normally, like in general, you can call it a star. This is a universal selector. That means this selects all the elements. Doesn't matter if it has a class or an ID, or it has a div or a p or an image, doesn't matter. It selects all the element. You select, basically write star. That means, okay, whatever CSS I'm writing here, apply it on all the elements. And I'm simply going to go and write margin 0 pixel and padding 0 pixel. That means all the elements will by default have 0 margin, 0 padding. That means no default value. Save it. Let's refresh the web page and see if the body's margin is gone. So focus on the gap, guys, here. Refresh and see. Now my element is end to end. So basically now body's margin is gone, and all the future elements that have default margin, they are also settled. We don't have to care about that now. Okay, cool. Now let's directly move ahead to animation. Are we ready, guys? Can we directly move ahead to animation, or you have to ask something? If you know a little bit of CSS and you have any confusion, you can ask now, because now we are directly moving ahead to learning animation. Okay. And guys, please, for people who know very little HTML and CSS, don't have a lot of idea, you still have one day. So before joining tomorrow's session, you can have today's, like tonight and tomorrow's morning, to learn a little bit of HTML and CSS, and come back, join the tomorrow's session at 7:30 p.m. Okay. But for people who know this, let's move ahead and let's get going with the animation. Okay. So now, first of all, let's talk about what exactly is an animation. See, always before doing anything, you always have to research and learn about it. Okay. So before doing animation, let's at least talk about what exactly is animation. Let's understand what exactly is animation. And before talking, let me see how many of you know what exactly is animation. Sir, what is adjacent sibling, general sibling? Okay, Harshit, I'll tell you. Don't worry, buddy. I'll tell you, Harshit. But before that, you guys have to tell me what exactly is animation. Anyone, come on. I need 5 to 6 answers. Anyone? What is animation? So Sahil here tells me moving objects. Anyone else, guys? Don't go on internet. I don't want you guys to go on internet. Tell me whatever you know. Tell me whatever you know. Okay. Responsive. Okay, cool. Guys on YouTube, come on, guys. Okay, again, moving objects, movement of pics. It's like cartoon. Okay. So you guys know a little bit of things. That's cool. That's really cool. Group of pictures or objects, moving objects, scaling of points and response, series of picture, effects on images, pack of pixels. That's great. You know a little bit. That's really cool. Now I'll give you a definition of what exactly is animation. Okay. Now see what is that? What exactly is animation? See, you guys are saying correct. You're not wrong in your ways, right? Because whatever we see will tell that. Now I'll tell you what exactly is the definition of animation. See, change of state of an element or an object with respect to time is what you call an animation. Change of state of an object with respect to time is what you call as an animation. Okay. Now, basically, when I say change of state, it can be anything. It can be movement. See, change of state means change in the element with respect to time. Now, when I say change in the element, it can be anything. It can be movement. It can be changing of colors. It can be changing of pictures. It literally can be anything with respect to some time. That is what you call as an animation in simple terms. Change of state of elements, or in very simple terms, movement of elements. We always call it movement of elements with respect to time. But movement is not the only animation. Sometimes getting bigger is an animation. Sometimes changing colors is an animation, right? Sometimes changing shape is an animation. That's why I always say change of state of an object or an element with respect to time is what you call as an animation. Is that clear, everyone? So it can be literally anything, but changing with respect to time. Okay, that's what you call as an animation. And now then, since we have learned this, let's move ahead. And also one more thing before moving ahead, one more thing. Now, basically, guys, have you understood the definition here? Everyone, have you understood the definition? You guys tell me. Have we understood the definition? That's great. That's great. Now let's move on to the second thing. Now there are various ways of achieving animation. Now, for example, in real world, if I throw a bottle and that bottle is moving in the air, that is an animation, right? But that is reality because you're having it in the real world, right? But when you go on screen, animation works differently, right? When you go on screen, TV or your PC screen, animation works differently, right? So our screens and TVs or pictures you watch, everything follows something called as frame animation, the animation that is done in frames. Now, to understand this very simply, see, in real world, we don't know whether we have frames in real world or we don't have frames. Okay, but in digital world, animation is done mainly using frames. Now, to understand what exactly is frame, have you guys ever seen something called as a flip book? You might have created that thing in your childhood. I'll tell you what is a flip book. So basically, you have a book of multiple pages, a lot of pages, and you create a character on each and every page with different things, doing different things or on different positions or movement, right? And then what you do is you simply scribble through all the pages, right? You scribble through all the pages so that you can see all the pages, but very fast, right? You scribble through all the pages. What happens? Basically, your minds get an effect. Your eyes or your mind sees the effect that the object is moving. It's because of the frames are moving so fast, you can only focus on the objects and you feel like the object is moving or changing its state. That's what you call as an animation on digitally. That's how animation works digitally. Okay, so basically you have different frames, and on different frames your object state is different, and frames are rendered in a particular time at a particular interval, and your eyes think that your object is moving or the color is changing, right? That's how your movies are made. Animated movies, cartoon movies, everything is drawn on frames, and the frames change at a particular speed, and you basically get an effect in your mind that the character is moving or the character is changing its state. Okay, that's how it works. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we clear with the concept? So that's the animation that you follow digitally, and that's how the animation also works in CSS. That's how the animation works in CSS. We follow frame animation in CSS. Is that clear, everyone? So now, after understanding all of this, let's move ahead. Okay, you have to know we follow frame animation digitally, and we also follow frame animation while doing CSS. Gamer and tech buddy, please don't spam the chat. आप किस डे टू की बात कर रहे हो? कौन सा डे टू चाहिए आपको? रिएक्ट का, नोड का, क्रड ऐप का? आप पूछ रहे हो ना डे टू कब आएगा? बट प्लीज स्पैम कर, मैं आपका डाउट देख लिया है. सो आप किस चीज के बारे में पूछ रहे हो वो लिख दीजिए, मैं बता दूंगा आपको. Okay, cool then guys, let's move ahead and let's start with it. Now let's say this is the object we want to animate. Okay, let's say this is the object I want to animate. Okay, so now if you want to, okay, Python ke bare mein Gamer and Tech, I don't know buddy, because right now I'm not teaching Python at Let's Upgrade, so don't worry. But still, I think behind the scenes my team is seeing your doubt and they will tell you what where exactly, like when exactly the day 2 of Python will get launched or it will be there. Okay, so don't worry buddy. Madhusudan asking difference in HTML canvas and CSS animation. See, first of all, if it is a digital animation, it will be a frame animation. So also your canvas works in frame. Okay, your canvas also works in frames. It's just way is different. When you work with CSS, you use JavaScript to write your animation. Sorry, when you work with canvas, you use JavaScript to write your animations. When you work with CSS, you simply use CSS to write your animations, right? So that's how it works. Animations are done in frames, right? When you use CSS, you use CSS to write your animation. When you use HTML canvas, you use JavaScript to write your animations, right? And but it's a little high level animation. Canvas provides a little high level animation because in that case you have access to programming language. You can literally do anything. Here you don't have access to programming language. Okay, that's why we can't do like really great animations, but yes, still good ones. Is that cleared, Madhusudan? How to animate SVG that is created in XD or Figma? We can use CSS and JavaScript, both, Praveen, to animate SVGs. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's move ahead now. So let's say I want to animate this object using CSS animation. So how to do that? So now, first thing you have to know is when you want to animate an object in CSS, you have to apply a few basic properties. You have to apply a few basic animation properties to that element. You always have to know this. You have to apply some basic animation properties. So let's see what are the basic animation properties you have to apply on the object you want to animate. So I want to animate this div. This div is having a class of 1, and this is the CSS I'm writing for that. Okay, so let's do it. You will write all your basic animation properties in here. Okay, so let's go and write. First thing you'll need is an animation name, the most important thing. Now here you can give any name. It's totally up to you. You can also give your name. Okay, so let's say I give a name of dummy. Right now I just give it a name of dummy. Okay, so I gave it a name of dummy. Now the next thing you need here is an animation duration. What will be the duration of your animation? In how much time your animation will complete once? Like how much time will it take for your animation to complete once? That's something you write in animation duration. So for example, I write 1 second. That means my whole animation will complete in 1 second. Like only for once it will complete in 1 second. Okay, so the whole animation will complete in 1 second. So that's is what you call as animation duration, the time of the animation. Okay, third thing you need here is animation iteration count. That basically says how many times your animation will run or how many times it should occur. By default, if you don't give it, I think it's 1 maybe, but here you can actually specify how many times you want to run your animation. For example, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Once it's complete, it should run second time or not, third time or not, fourth time or not. Okay, so you can simply also write infinite. If you write infinite, that means your animation will keep running. It will never stop. Once it is complete, it will run again. Once it is complete, it will run again. That's what you write in animation iteration count. Okay. Yes, Risha, all the recordings of this will be provided on YouTube and also on the Let's Upgrade community. Somajit, no, Somajit, Marquee is not for animation. It's basically for a simple horizontal scroll animation. You can tell that. So it's also like a tag that is deprecated now, Sombajit. You don't have to use that. You ever like, it's a very basic form of animation that was provided by HTML and a single thing, that's all. So it's not an actually great animation. That's why Mark is deprecated now. Okay. But it's like very basic kind of animation. Okay, then let's move ahead. So now we have 3 things. Animation name, you can give anything. Animation duration, 1 second. Animation iteration count, right now I'm just giving infinite. Okay. And then there is one more property that you can give is animation play state. Basically in this, you have 2 properties, see paused and running. So by default, you give it running so that your animation keeps running. Okay. You have paused if you want to pause an animation, you will understand that. But animation play state is basically when you open the screen, your animation is running or it is paused. So I want my animation to be running when I open my screen. So I simply say animation play state should be running. Okay, Ashok, iteration count means how many times the animation should run. How many times the animation should be executed. Once or twice or thrice or 4 times or 5 times. That's what you do. Okay, everyone. Ashok, are we clear with this, buddy? You'll understand what exactly is iteration count. Don't worry. If you're getting confused, don't worry. So now see, first of all, these 4 properties are very important here. Actually, this property is not important because even if you don't write it, by default, it is running. But I like to write it by myself. Okay. But even if you don't write animation play state, it will still be running. Okay. By default, it's running. But these 3 are very important. The name, the duration, and the iteration count. These 3 are the basic, most important properties that you have to put on the object that you want to animate. Now, we are done with the basic properties. Now we know we have given the animation name, we have given the duration, iteration count. But now we have to figure out what exactly should be the animation. Do I want to move my element? Do I want to change the colors? What I want to do? And most important, where to write it, right? Where to write it? So let's see. So now you can simply go out and now you simply go and write @ keyframes. Keyframes basically tells that this is a frame animation. And here in identifier, you write the name you gave to the object, that is dummy. And in this brackets, you write what animation you want to do. So that's how the process goes. One is basically this element. Okay, this element is having class 1, and here you're applying CSS on it using .1, and you gave it animation name dummy. And now here you're going to write the animation that you want to apply on dummy. So whatever animation you apply on dummy, you know dummy is basically referencing the one element, and the one element is nothing but what? Your div element. That's how it works. So first you give an animation name to your object, and then you apply animation on that animation name, and indirectly that is applied to what? Your actual object. Guys, are we clear with this? This is how it goes. This is how the formation goes. Now here you're going to do everything. You're going to create frames. You're going to write what should happen in a single frame. As I said, you do frame animation. So you can create multiple frames here, and you can tell what should happen in a particular frame. You can write here. Animation play state, Jitendra, it means the animation should be running or paused. Animation play state means the animation should be running or paused. And even if I don't write it, by default, it's running. I just prefer to write it. Okay, cool. Now then, here, as I said, you can create frames now. You can create frames, and you can write what should happen with that element in that particular frame. So now, by default, you get 2 frames. By default, you get 2 frames. That is something like this. That goes something like this. You can go for from and write whatever you want till 2. That means, see, this is a 2-frame animation. Okay, so from means the first frame, 2 means the second frame, the last frame. So from is the initial frame, 2 is the last frame. Right now, only 2 frames. In future, like in after 5 minutes, I'll tell you how to write 10 frames, 20 frames, 30 frames, 100 frames. Don't worry. Now in here, you can write any CSS property you want. Literally any CSS property you want. So let's go on and write background color. So by default, it's red. So I'm going to keep it red. So from red, that means in the first frame, keep it red. But in the next frame, change the background color to blue. Now, so now my animation is having 2 frames. In the first frame, the elements color is going to be blue. In the second frame, the elements color is going to be, sorry, in the first frame, the elements color is going to be red. In the second frame, the elements color is going to be blue. What is the use of pause state? When you want to pause an animation, you simply write animation play state pause. If your animation is moving and you want to stop it and see something, you simply say it pause. So you can pause your animation at a point of time. Okay. Now guys, save it and let's see what is happening here. So let's go on the browser, refresh the page, and here we go. Can you see it, guys? No, Gitika. Yes, we can use that property for clicking. Yes, but using CSS, we cannot do the click thing. Okay, Gitika? We have to use JavaScript, but yes, we can use that property to pause or play the animation. I hope you guys are understanding. You can use animation play state to pause or play the animation. Okay, so here we go. A very, very, very simple animation, but yes, it is working. It has 2 frames, a red and a blue. It basically changing the color. Okay, guys, are we cleared on Zoom, on YouTube? Is everyone getting cleared with this? Please tell me, guys. On YouTube as well, guys. I'm not seeing chat on YouTube now. Let me know, guys, on YouTube. Are you understanding this? Because now we're going to make it very big. Will this make our page load slowly? No, Abhi, not at all. No. CSS animations are very lightweight. They never make your page go slow. Okay, cool. Now here we have only 2 frames, from and to. Okay, now I want to see like how can I write multiple frames, like 10 frames, 20 frames, 100 frames, 1000 frames. How can I do that? So now let's comment this out, because now I don't generally want to do 2-frame animation. I want to do like 10-frame animation, 5-frame animation, 4-frame animation. How to do that? Are we going to learn animate.css also in this course? No, Geetika, not at all. This is for advanced CSS. We are not learning any external library or third-party thing. We are only learning what we can do using CSS. What is the power of CSS? Is that clear, Geetika? Cool then, guys. Now, if you want to write multiple frames, like more than 2 frames, first you have to know a few things. And that is, you should always know that your frames here go from 1 to 100%. Go from 1 to 100%. Now you can divide your 1 to 100% in any ways possible to generate thousands of frames, lakhs of frames. For example, see, think of it like this. If I want 10 frames, I can write 10%, 20%, 30%, and so on. And basically, by doing that, I'm creating 10 frames. If I want 100 frames, I'll write 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, and go till 100%. Right? If I want 200 frames, I can write 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%, 2%, 2.5%, 3%. That's how I can go. Right? So that's how I divide my frame. So the maximum is 100 and the minimum is 1. Now it's up to you what number you write to divide them to get 10 frames, 1000 frames, 10,000 frames, lakhs frames, anything. See, I'm saying the maximum is 100 numbers. The maximum is 100%. The minimum is 1%. See everyone, please focus. If you're not understanding at the first time, don't worry. See, everyone focus. See, by default, you have from and to. That by default gives you 2 frames. Second way is, as I said, you can divide your frames by using percentage. And the minimum percentage you have is 1%, and the maximum percentage you have is 100%. Now you guys tell me, if I have numbers 1 to 100, right? And so basically, let's say by default, okay, fine. Let's say you have 2 numbers. The maximum is 100, the minimum is 1, right? And this is the thing that responsible for giving you frames. So if you write 1%, 2%, 3%, you're gonna get 100 frames, right? On 1%, what to do? Okay. Again, I'll explain it once more. See, when I'm writing 1 to 100%, it's basically your time. It's basically your time that you're dividing. For example, if I write animation has 10 seconds of time. If my animation duration is 10 seconds, okay, please focus, guys. If my animation duration is 10 seconds, that means now you guys tell me what will be 10% of my this duration. You guys tell me, come on, guys. What will be 10% of my this duration? 1 second, right? It will be 1 second. So now if I go here and write 10%, I simply mean 10% of that duration. 10% of that duration. If I write 20, that means 20% of that duration, right? That means this animation will work when we reach 10% of that time. This animation will work if we reach 20% of that time. This animation will work if we reach 30% of that time. That means in 10 seconds, when 1 second passes out, this frame will work. When 2 seconds pass out, this frame will work. When 3 seconds pass out, this frame will work, right? That means when 10 seconds will pass out, when 10 seconds complete duration will pass out, this frame will work. Are we cleared now, guys? This is basically you're dividing your duration in frames. You're basically dividing your animation duration in frames. Are we cleared, everyone? Are we cleared now? So 100% time, 100% is basically the last frame because you're at the 10th second. Now, you can divide your time in as many ways possible, right? Instead of going for 10%, 20%, you can also go for 1%, right, guys? 1%, 2%, 3%, and till 100%. Now you guys tell me, if I write a frame at 1% of a time, when will it occur? When will it work? Come on, guys, tell me. My animation duration is 10 seconds. And if I write something to work on 1% of the time, exactly 0.1 second. That means 100 milliseconds. 2% will be 200 milliseconds. 3% will be 300 milliseconds. And 100% will be complete 10 seconds. Right? And I can go on with how I want to divide. I can also go for 0.5 second, 0.5%, then 1% if I want 200 frames. So basically, Your frames mean nothing but how you divide your time. How you divide your time, in what percentages you divide your time to get the number of frames for that particular time. See, frames are always related to the time you have, right? So that's how you achieve frame in a particular time. Now, depending on how much frames you want in a particular time, how much frames you want, you have to divide your time accordingly. I really hope now you got it. This is one of the toughest thing to understand, but I really hope now you understood this, right? This is what people don't understand about animation. What is this percentages? But I really hope now you have understood. So basically, this percentages, this division of time is nothing but how many frames you want for that particular time. Now you want to divide that time in 100 frames, you want to divide that time in 1000 frames, you want to divide that time in 10,000 frames, it's totally up to you. But it will be so lengthy and fast. It will be lengthy. See, Mita is telling me it will be so lengthy and fast. No one is stopping us for increasing the time, right? We can also increase the time to 100 seconds, Mita. Right, Mita? Now our time is more. See, for 10 seconds, 100 frames will be fast. But for 100 seconds, 100 frames now is like one frame is having 1 second. If I have 1000 seconds, then 100 frames will go much more slower. If I have 10,000 frames, 10,000 seconds, 100 frames will go now much more slower. If I have like 1 lakh seconds, 100 frames will now go much more slower, right? So you can always come here and increase or decrease the time, right? So let's say we have 100 seconds, how to divide into 200 times 0.5, right? But 1% in min. Yes, then you can go for 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%, 2%, right? That's how you can go. Can we write instead of seconds, minutes, sir? No, here you can write seconds. You personally have, like, you're never going to have your animation for minutes, right? That's why we personally prefer seconds. Okay. Or is your doubt especially for, like, can we write minutes in CSS like 1M or something like that? Are you asking something like that? So you cannot write minutes. You can write seconds or milliseconds, either MS or S. Is that clear? Because generally minute is not used. That's why you can write seconds or milliseconds. Mita on YouTube, is your doubt clear now? Mita Haldar, is your doubt clear now about fast? You can increase your time to slow down your frame rates. Sir, you said 1% is minimum, right? 1 means, as I said, anything greater than 0, not 1. I told 1 just to let you know that it goes from 1 to 100, but it goes from 0.1 to 100 actually. Is that clear, Jitendra? I told 1 to 100 because that's the general definition, so that you understand that all of the things that start. But now you know that you can divide that as well. Anything greater than 0. Okay, that's cool now, guys. So let's see this. Let's see this. Now let's remove this from and to, because you're never going to use it, according to me, because I do a lot of animations. I really don't use this from and to. Please check my 2 doubt above. Sumit, can you write your doubts again, buddy? Because I think your chats have gone above. Responsive design class, please. Yes, the third session of this advanced CSS is going to be responsive design, buddy. So don't worry. Yes, it can go from 0.001 or 01. It's totally fine. Not wrong at all. But I don't think someone is going to go there, but that's fine. You can go there. It's totally fine. Now, guys, let's see. Now, let's say at 10% of the time, that means how much time I have? 10 seconds. Sorry, let's write 10 seconds. That means at 1 second, I want my element to move margin left. Let's say 20 pixel. And then at 20%, or let's not do this. Let's only divide it in 5 frames. So let's say directly start from 20%. And then 40. I don't want to like write a lot of things. Okay, because I also want to help you to how to create an animated slider, right? I want to teach you that. So 40%, let's say margin left, what do you call as 40 pixel, and also 60%. Guys, please focus, everyone. You have to understand this. Margin left 60 pixel, or why I'm going for like some basic things. Let's say 50, 100, 150 pixels, 80%, margin left of 200 pixels, and 100% is complete consumption of time. We have completely consumed the time. Okay, let's say 250 pixels. Now guys, see what is going to happen here. Can we change SVG image color using CSS or add dynamic changes? Yes, we can change SVG colors using CSS because it's a code. We can do that. So you missed 150. Oh yes, pixel. I missed the pixel. Yeah, sorry. Save it now and let's see if it is working. Okay guys, so let's save it. Let's go on the browser again. And here we go. See. Can you guys see? Everyone. So that's how it works. And you also saw that thing, right? When 100% is completed, it goes back to 0 in a click. Very fast. In a click. It goes back to 0 in a click because there is no time left. Because there is no time left. 100% of the time is consumed and it has to go back to 0. See, all the animations go back to 0. So it has going back to 0, but it's in a click because there is no time left now. Is that clear? Now, what if I don't consume 100% of the time? What if I don't consume 100% of the time? What if I only consume 80% of the time? That means 20% is still left. That means 2 seconds are left now. Okay, now let's see what is happening. What is going to happen now? See, refresh. See now. See what happened? Yes. Why upward? It will work same, buddy. If I use upward or downward or left, right, it will work same. Don't worry. Okay. Now, guys, you saw that, right? See, when there was no time left for going back to 0, it happened in click because there was no time left. 100% was done. But now we are only using the 80% of the time. We are leaving 20% of the time. So basically, that 20% is utilized for going back to 0. That's why now you can also see the animation of going back. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, please tell me, are we cleared? So if you leave any time, it will take that time to go back to 0. I hope we are cleared now. Okay. That's great. That's great. That's great. So how to add zoom in effect when user hover on image? Scale. You can scale it. I'm going to show you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to learn about transform, transition, and everything. So I'm going to show you tomorrow how to zoom in, zoom out, and everything. Don't worry. Tomorrow is all about transformations, transitions, and everything. Okay. Sir, will you teach before and after selector? Why not? Yes, exactly. I have that in my mind because that's something that comes in advanced CSS. They are called as pseudo elements. Okay. So guys, are we cleared with the basic example here of animation? Now I'm going to teach you how to build something using this. Whatever we have learned, how to build something using this. Okay. Guys, should we do that? Should we build something now? Let's build an image slider by just using CSS. Image slider, a good looking image slider that you have by just using CSS. Yes, Sahil, we can make it. I'm going to show you how to make a slider now. Let's do it. But have we understood the basic concept here? Tell me that first. Have we understood the basic concept here? Okay. Now then, let's move ahead and let's start building something. Okay. Now let's comment this out so that there is no animation running for some time. Okay. And let's remove all of this. I don't need this right now. Actually, comment all of this out. Now the animation will not work, right? Okay. Now, first of all, to build an image slider, first we have to set up all the things, right? First, we have to set up the slider thing, right? So let's start setting up the slider thing. And for that, I already have images in a different project. So let's go and let me just go there and get all my images. Guys, let me just go there and get all my images from there. So here we go. I have a folder named slider images. I'm going to take that complete folder. In that, I just have 4 nature images. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, so I'll go in my advanced CSS and I'll paste it here. So this folder doesn't have anything. It just had 4 images. That's it. You can download it from internet. I have also downloaded it from internet only. Okay. So these are just 4 nature images. That's all. Okay. Now then, let's set up the basic layout. Let's set up the basic layout. And for that, I'm going to remove this. Guys, please focus. Please focus on the layout, because transition and animation, can we use both together? Yes, Mita, we can use both together. Why not? Yes. Okay, guys, please focus, but you don't need the transition while using normal animation, because you already have animation duration that is working for transition. So you don't have to use it, but yes, you can use it together. Okay, guys, now please focus on the layout, because once you understand the layout, the movement will be easier to understand. Okay, so let's build the layout. So now see, div class, let's say main. Okay, let's go to CSS and let's start. Dot main will have a height of, let's say, 600 pixels, and I'm going to have a width of 100%, and I'm going to give it a background color of gray. Save it, and here we go. Oh, I have zoomed my page. This is what it looks like. I have zoomed it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. That's great. Guys, are we cleared with this, everyone? Are we cleared with this? So now we have a div here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go inside this, and I'm going to create some more divs. Okay, so I'm going to create some more divs inside that, and I'm going to give them a class. So let's say I give them a class of slider underscore. Okay, first I'm going to create one more div named slider underscore child, or I can name it main child. Main child. Okay, now see what I'm going to do here, please. Now this is where you have to focus. I write dot main child. Okay, now see, guys, please focus. I write main child. Now I'm going to give it the same height. Okay, I'm going to give it the same height of 600 pixel. And what if I give it a same width of 100%? What if I give a width of 100%? See, whenever you give a width of 100%, the element always tries to take the complete width of the parent. Okay, so if I've created this main child, we know that this main child will cover the complete main element. Let's see. And here we go. It is covering the complete main element. Are we clear with this, guys? Everyone, are we clear with this? Please tell me. Okay, so now it's covering the whole parent, but I want this element, this red element, to be 5 times bigger. I want this element to be 5 times bigger than the parent. So basically, if I write with 100%, it is exactly same as the parent. So if I want it to be 5 times of the parent, how much would I have to give? I have to go on and I have to write 500%. And now it will become 5 times the parent. See, now it goes in scroll. I have a scroll bar down here. I hope you guys can see, because now it's 5 times the parent. It is still the part of the parent, but it's 5 times the parent. That means this is parent and child is like 5 times the parent. So child is bigger than the parent. Are we cleared with this, guys? Everyone, are we cleared with this? Now, just to show you, you can go in your main, because see, if the child becomes larger than the parent, that means it's overflowing. So if you want, you can also handle the overflow by this. You can write overflow scroll. So whatever is overflowing, that means the 400% extra thing will go in scroll now. See, you have a scroll bar for the div, for the gray div. If I want to show you, I can decrease the height of this. You can show that, you can see that the parent is behind. Let's decrease the height of main child, and you can see the parent is actually behind. And now we have a scroll bar inside the parent because the child is bigger. Are we cleared, everyone? I want answers from everyone. Are we cleared? Because I don't want anyone to get confused here. If this is clear, slider will be cleared. Only this thing is very important. Okay, that's great. That's really amazing. But I want the same height, so I'll just put 600. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is inside main child, I'm going to create 5 divisions. Now we also have double colored page. Yes, answer yes, you can say that. But now we don't have. That's cool. Now see, guys, what I'm going to do. I'm going to create 5 divs inside it. I'm going to create 5 divs inside it. Now, you guys tell me how much width I should give this, like I should give to this div. For example, let's say I give this name, I give this thing as an ELE. I give a class of ELE to this element. and I want to create 5 of them. How much width should I give to this element so that I can adjust 5 of them in a single line? Guys, come on, tell me. How much height? I'll give same. So height will be 600 pixels only. Okay. How much width? Okay, that's amazing. I can see everyone is saying 20%. No one is saying 100%. That's amazing. I expected few of you to tell 100%, but that's cool. You know, right? 100% is always the parent. So even if the parent is 500%, I don't care. If he's my parent, for me, he's only 100%. So if I want 5 of myself to be adjusted, I have to give myself 20% because we have 5. That's cool, right? So let's give 20%. Because see, the parent is having 500% width. ELE's parent is main child. It's having 500%. But you should know, even if it is 500 or 1000, doesn't matter. For child, the parent is always 100. Okay. So no matter what's the width, for child, the parent is always 100. And if I want 5 to be adjusted, I have to give 20%. And let's give it a background color of green. Save it. And here we go. Now you see 1. Now, first of all, everyone is going one below each other because they are block elements. So we have to move them in line. So for that, I'll simply go write display inline block. Save it. And here we go. Now see, they are in line 1, then second one, then the third one, then the fourth one. And finally, the fifth one is not here because fifth one is down. And fifth one is going down because there is an issue. We have a problem here. And the problem is these little gaps. These little gaps. So we have these little gaps in between. That's why the last element is not having the complete size to cover. And that's why it's going down. So we have to remove these gaps. So to remove that gap, we have multiple ways. And the best way and the easiest way is remove inline block and say display flex. Display flex will also arrange them in line, but display flex has a best thing that it doesn't give any gaps. Let's see, save it. And here we go. Now we don't have gaps between them. And again, there is an issue. Display flex is not given in the child, it is given in the parent. So you simply go in the parent and add display flex. And the all elements inside main child now will be in line and there will be no space. Flex, display flex is always given to the parent, guys. Remember, display flex is always given to the parent. Now see, same thing will happen, but now we don't have any gaps between them. Right? So the gaps are removed. And if you want to see, the gaps are actually removed. I'm going to do this for you. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that you can see, otherwise you'll not understand what exactly is going on. Okay. So if you give display flex in the parent, all the elements will be arranged in an inline fashion and they will not have space. But if you use display inline block in the child, it will arrange them in line, but it will always leave space. So this is the best way of removing the space. Give display flex to the parent. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared? Please tell me. Everyone on YouTube and Zoom, are we cleared with this? Okay, that's really great. Now, time to put images. So we don't need this 1 and 2. Let's remove all of this. Now inside each element, I want to put an image. And I'm not going to use image tag. I'm going to use CSS to put images. But all the elements have a class name of ELE. But I want to give them different images. Right? So what I can do, I can write like this. ELE nth child 1. That means the first ELE. First element with the class ELE. You can also go for nth child 2. So this basically nth child helps you to select element based on their numbering. If they are having same class name, but you want to write something different for them, you can use this nth child pseudo class. Okay. So see, both are ELE, but the first one points to the first ELE element. The second one points to the second ELE element. Second element having ELE class. And same like this, I'm going to go 3, 4, and 5. So let's go and write 3, 4, and 5. Are we cleared, everyone? Are we cleared with this? With the nth child thing? Basic CSS. Yes, Akshay Panigrahi, tell me, buddy, what is your doubt on YouTube? Tell me what is your doubt, Akshay. Akshay, I'm listening, buddy. Tell me what your doubt. Okay, guys, so let's move ahead. Guys, so then let's move ahead. And now let's use the background image property. So this is for the first ELE element. When I say the first ELE element, that means the first div having the class ELE. Okay. So now, not background color, sorry. We have to use background image and URL dot slash slider images slash slide one. Save it. I'm using Java in Visual Studio. Yes, that's fine. Why not? Like, what is the problem in that case? But normally Visual Studio is not made for Java, right? It's made for all the Microsoft things like C# and everything. But I think if you create a Java file, I can't get output. Maybe because in Visual Studio, you don't have the JRE or the JDK installed, right? You can create Java file, you can code it, but does Visual Studio have the JRE? Try installing JDK and then run it and then see if it is working. Or either go for NetBeans or Eclipse and write your Java files because they have the environment installed in it. Yes, Geetika, we can use odd and even. Anushka Somani is asking, please explain nchild again. See, Anushka, focus now. See, all my elements are having a ELE class. Okay, Anushka? All my elements are having a ELE class. And if I write anything on ELE class, it will be applied to all the elements, right? If I write anything on the ELE class, it will be applied to all the elements. So what if I want to only apply something on this? How can I fetch this? So there are multiple ways. Either I can give it one more class, a new class, to only fetch this element particularly. Or the next way is I can write like this, .ele colon nth child one. That will go in my HTML, only select the first element having class ELE. That in this case is this. If I write nth child 2, that means select the second element having ELE class. That is this element. Is this cleared, Anushka? Anushka, I hope your doubt is cleared now. Everyone on Zoom, are we understanding this? Please tell me, guys. I hope there is no confusion in nth child, right? This is basic CSS. Guys on Zoom, please tell me. Okay, cool. Guys on YouTube. Okay, cool now. So for the first slide, I'm giving this image as the background image. Let's see. Are we getting the image? And here we go. We get the image. Perfect. That's great. That's what we wanted. Okay. Now then, let's copy this. Let's paste it here. Let's give it slide 2. Slide 3. Slide 4. And finally, we don't have any slide 5. So I'm going to again use slide 1. And why I'm using the slide 1 again at the last, I'm going to show you. Don't worry. Now see what is happening here. See, guys. First image, second image, third image, fourth image, fifth image. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared with this? What is this VS Code extension that is giving pre-warnings? That is error lens Prapti. You can download it from the extensions. The extension is called error lens. Okay. The extension is called error lens. Guys, are we cleared, everyone on YouTube and Zoom? Are we cleared with this concept? Now, time to get going. Time to animate. Okay. So now let's copy all the animation properties from here because we're not going to need it here. We're not going to need it here. We're going to need all of this in the element that we want to animate. And we are going to animate this main child, the bigger child. We're going to animate this. Okay. And now let's change the name from dummy to, let's say, slider. It will lag because I'm moving it fast, right, Jitendra? So it will lag because my screen is not lagging, buddy. It's the internet. It's the online sharing, right? So maybe wherever you're seeing, if I move it fast, it will lag for you. Okay. Don't worry. The screen is not lagging, buddy. Okay, guys, are we cleared with this? Cool then. Now, We have the animation name slider. For right now, I'm giving duration 10 seconds. Don't worry about it. We can change it afterwards. Iteration count infinite, play state running. Can we automatically move the slides like the plain red box main child moves? Can we automatically move the slides like plain? Yes, we can do that. Exactly, we're going to do that. See, we are animating the main child. Main child means the big one who is having all the images, right? Main child means the big one who is having all the images. Now, guys, you have to focus. What I'm doing, you have to focus. Now, I'm animating the slider. Okay, now I have 5 images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it in 5 frames. Guys, please focus, everyone. You have to focus to understand all of it. Now what I have to do to move the element, I have to use margin left. But margin left sends the element from left to right. But I want to go from right to left. So I have to go negative. Margin left typically sends the element from left to right. But I want to go negative, reverse. So I'll write, for the first time, I want to go minus 100%. Now, what is the width of the element? 500%. Right? The width of the element is 500%. So to move it, we have to use minus 100 for moving one section. Okay. Then for 40%, I'll write minus 200%. Guys, are we getting clear with this? Guys, everyone on Zoom and YouTube, are we getting cleared? The width of the element is 500. So to move it with one slide, see, we know that the slide width is 20%, but according to the parent who is 500%, one slide is how much? 100%. 2 slides are 200%. 3 slides are 300%. मैंने कलर भी रखा, इमेज भी रखा, तो because color is always in the background. Color, Raj Rawal, is always in the background, buddy. Shreyans, let's focus on this right now, buddy. Yes, we have a project, but it will be a simply designing project, right? Because it's the CSS session. So in the last session, I'm going to show you how to create a basic template and make it responsive, buddy. Okay, Shreyansh, I hope it is cleared now. Okay, Raj, you can either put background color or background. So background color is like just goes behind because background image comes there, right? Are we cleared, Raj? On YouTube. Yes, Akash, you're correct, buddy. Yes. Okay, guys, now please focus. So for the third time, I'm going to make it minus 300%. For the fourth time, I'm going to make it minus 400%. And I think I actually only need 4 frames because at minus 400, I will get my image. So I don't need the last one. So let's see what is happening right now. Anubhav, what is your doubt, buddy? Anubhav, what is your doubt? What do you want me to repeat? Anubhav, what do you want me to repeat? What is your confusion here? Minus 100 house C. See, please focus. My element is 500% in width. And I'm moving that element, right? See, for children's, they were, see, for guys who are not understanding, don't worry, I will make you understand. So let me open a Jamboard for you. How I'm calculating minus 100, I'll tell you. For everyone now, please focus. So I'm opening a Jamboard. I'll clear the frame. Now see, Anubhav, see. This is, let's say 500%. Okay. Now this is a child of it. This is a child of it. Okay. Now always remember in CSS, according to the child, the parent is always 100%. According to the child, the parent is always 100%. Okay. So I gave myself 20%. I gave myself 20 to fit in here. But my parent is 500. And for parent, I am taking its 100% size. For the parent, I am taking its 100% size. But according to child, he is only taking 20%. Because for child, the parent is always 100%. But as a parent, I am 500%. And if I have 5 childs in me that are completing, that means one child is taking 100% of my width, right, guys? Is it clear, Anubhav, now? And I want to move one element, one complete image at a time. So that is this 100%. Next is again minus 200, minus 300, minus 400. Are we cleared, Anubhav? Are we cleared now? Is everyone, are we cleared with this concept now? See, Try to find the relation. For child, parent is always 100. So if I want to adjust 5 things, one will be 20%. But for parent, he is 500. According to me, if I'm parent, I am 500. So if I have 5 childs in me, one will be having 100. According to parent, so parent's point of view is different, child's point of view is different. Okay, but we are animating the parent element. That's why we have to follow the parent's point of view. Okay, I hope everyone is cleared now. So basically at 20% of time, I'm moving it minus 100. For 40%, minus 200. At 60% of the 10 second, minus 300. Can you please show what? Main and ELE. Here we go. See? So here we have main. Then we have the main child. The element that is, I'm calling parent here, because this is what I'm animating. Main child is 500. Right? And the ELE is 20% of it. Is it clear, Sachin? This is how it is working. Main child is 500 and ELE is 20 inside it. But according to main, ELE is 100 because I'm 500. So ELE is 100. But according to child, parent is 100. So I'm 20. So 2 point of views, child point of view, parent's point of view. In CSS file, yes, I can show you. Here you go. Are you writing with me? Sachin, are you writing with me? Okay, cool then. Let's move ahead. Now let's see if it is working. Let's see if it is working. Refresh. And here we go. Something is going on. It's very fast, but something is going on. Something is really going on. See now, minus 100, minus 200, minus 300, minus 400, and 20% is left. So again, going back to 0. Are we cleared, everyone? But I don't want this going back to 0 thing. I don't want that going back to 0 thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to consume all the 100% time. I don't want it to go back to 0 like that. So I'm going to consume all the 100. So to consume all the 100 and to, now you guys tell me, if I want to consume all the 100% of the time and I want only 4 frames, what number should I use? Come on, guys, tell me, what number should I use? Right? We have to go for multiples of 25. 25, 50, 75. Now, please focus. Something great is going to happen and you will not imagine it if you don't know it. Save it now. Focus, please, guys. Let's see. Please focus, everyone. Now see again. Refresh. Minus 100, minus 200, minus 300, minus 400. And it continued. It continued from there. You saw that, right? It continued from there. It is continuing. Can anyone here explain me how it is continuing? If you have like listened everything carefully what I have told in the last 1.5 hours, you'll know this. Yes, we will remove the scroll bar, Jitendra. Let's learn first, right? We're going to remove that. See, animation is infinite, but it should go to 0, right? Why it is not going to 0? And why we can say that, like why we are seeing that it is continuing from there? We don't have infinite elements, right? Geetika, you don't have to give the answer because you have already learned this, right, Geetika? So you can't give the answer. You're not eligible to give the answer here. Exactly, Devanshu. Exactly. Now you have the answer. Now, guys, see what is happening here. Remember that thing. If you give time to go back to 0, it goes back to 0. It goes back to 0 with the animation. But if you don't have any time left, it goes back to 0 in clicks. You can't see it. It goes back. It goes back in clicks. And I had a logic. I have made the first image and last image same. So what is happening here is when you are on the last image, it goes back to the first image in click. But since the last image and first image are same, your eyes cannot see that click. Since the first and last image are same, your eyes cannot see the click. Now, let me show you. If I have the last image as any different image. Let's say, I say I change the last image. Now see what will happen. Focus now, guys. Now you'll see the finch. Now you'll see the click. See now. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and now again want to go to first. See, now you saw that click, right, guys? You saw that click from last to first, from 100 to 0. You saw that click now, because last image and first image are different and there is no time, so it's going in click. But what I did, I used this trick. I simply took the first and last image and made them same. So what is happening, it is still going on in click, but since the first and last are same, your eyes cannot pick the change here, the click change here, and you feel like it's going in continuous motion. It's infinite, it's just going. We have infinite slides of images. Are we cleared now on YouTube, guys? Are we cleared with this? Please tell me. Now, at least it is sliding. Okay, this is sliding, but we still have an issue. It's not waiting enough. It's not waiting enough, right? Like, I want it to wait. I want it to wait, because if I have wrote something on the slider, how can people read it? It's going very fast. So the first thing is, if I refresh the page, you see, if I refresh the page, whenever I refresh, it simply goes away very fast. So I want the first slide to wait for some time, right? So basically I can go there and I can use one more property named animation delay. Okay, I can use a property named animation delay that basically gives time to start the animation. It only runs once, but it says animation will start only if this time is done. So for example, if I give 3 seconds or if I give 4 seconds, that means first animation will wait for 4 seconds and then it will start. So let's see, save it. And here we go. I refresh. Now see, it's waiting for 4 seconds and now it starts. But now these are not waiting and I cannot use animation delay because animation delay is only for one. What is the concept of selector in CSS? Shreyans, don't worry, I'm going to show you that as well. These are called selectors, buddy. These here things are called selectors. These things are called selectors. These things here. We are selecting an elements. We are selecting the elements. So these things are called selectors, class selector, ID selector, and everything. Okay, guys. So see, animation delay has solved one problem, that at the start, when I load the page, it will stop. But what after that? Because animation delay only works once. Animation delay only works once. That's all at the start. After that, no, simply going away. And I want each and every slide to stop in between for some time. Okay. So now see the trick how I'm going to do that. Now, अनुष्का सब कुछ स्मूथली हो रहा है, खाली ये ऑनलाइन चीजें जब ऐसी दिखती हैं, जब हम शेयर करते हैं स्क्रीन, और जब ये सारी चीजें ऑनलाइन शेयर होती है ना, तो स्मूथ नहीं दिखती. बट ये सब, like, trust me, it is all going smooth, Anushka. Is that clear, Anushka? Animation भी smoothly हो रहा है, Anushka. Don't worry. When I'll share this file with you, when you download it in your PC, you'll see everything is going on smoothly. When you share these kind of animations online, right, online by streaming or on some video, these things look like this, but don't worry. Okay. So what we have to do when we want text on image, I'm going to show you that, Namita, as well. Don't worry, Namita, at the end. Okay. Now then, guys, what is the trick to stop every image for some time in between? What is the trick? Okay, here Geetika is here suggesting me one property to use named transition delay. Let's use it and see if Geetika is correct. Okay, so let's write transition delay of, let's say, 3 seconds. Save it. And let's see if it is working. Here we go. Geetika, it's not working. Transition delay is not working. Have I wrote it correctly? Transition delay is not stopping my images in between. Okay, guys, cool, not a problem. Let's see another way of doing the same thing. Let's see another way of doing the same thing. So now please focus what I'm going to do. First of all, guys, please focus, everyone. First of all, I'm going to increase the time. I'm going to increase the time. So I'll increase the time to, let's say, 16 seconds. Okay. I increase the duration to 16th second. And now see what I'm going to do here. Okay. Now guys, see what I'm going to do here. Yes, Git. Yes, Prashant, we can use that, buddy. But let's see one more way of doing it. Now guys, please focus what we can do here. Now I will divide my animation in 8 frames. I will divide my animation in 8 frames. Okay. Okay. So to divide my animation in 8 frames, what I have to do? I have to divide it like this now, 12.5%. Okay. And then 25%. And see what I'm going to do. I'm going to write same for both. Okay. Now what is happening? At 12.5% of the time, the margin left will be minus 100. And at 25% of the time, the margin left again will be minus 100. But it is already on margin left minus 100. So basically, for the second time, because it is already there, it has to wait for this particular time because it's already there. What I'm writing, it's already there. It's already there because of this. So now it has to wait. Let's check it out. Save it. Here we go. See now. It goes to the second slide. Minus 100. Now at 25, it's still minus 100. So it has to wait. Now you guys saw it, right? It waited. Now third image is not waiting. So let's go ahead and let's make all of them wait. So now we have to divide it in 8 frames. So 4 frames will move them and 4 frames will make them wait. That's how it is working. Proper frame animation. Okay. Guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, are we cleared with this on YouTube, on Zoom? Okay. Now then let's move ahead and let's write 37.5% minus 200. And again, the same thing for 50%. See, Jitendra, see, it's very simple. It's very simple. You guys have to focus now. See, at 12.5% of the time, the margin left has gone to minus 100. So it has moved. So at this time, it moved. And again, at another frame, I'm telling it to move minus 100. I'm again telling it to move minus 100. But it's already on minus 100. So what will it do? It will do nothing. So basically, this frame is helping me to keep it paused because it's already there. So this frame is getting like, okay, fine. I'm working, but it's already on minus 100. So I have to do nothing. Let's wait. Let my time go. So this time is basically wasted because the frame is, the element is already there. But this time is getting consumed, but not doing anything. That's how it goes. Is that clear, Jitendra? Zoom, but first of all, see, there are multiple ways of doing it, but is this understandable? This is one way of doing it and the most easiest way actually. Simply think of it like this. If I tell you, see, think of it like this. I tell you, okay, move 1 meter back. Move 1 meter back when I say 2. Then I say 2 and you move 1 meter back. And I again say, move 1 meter back from me. If I say 5, right? But if you're already 1 meter back and if I say 5, because you're already there, you'll not move because you're already 1 meter back from me. So that time, that statement is wasted. That time is getting consumed, but you're already there. That's why you don't have to move. So that's simple how it is. That's how simple it is actually. At 12.5, it has already moved minus 100. So at 25, I'm again telling it to move minus 100, but it's already at minus 100. So this time is basically wasted, consumed, but does nothing. So basically, there only. Keep it there. Wait. Okay. लिखना बहुत है बस. I don't think ये बहुत है, right? It's a simple property. There is one more way we'll try. Don't worry, buddy. Because people are suggesting me to use transition delay. So let's use that and we'll show you if it is working. Hopefully it will work. Let's see. So next will be what? 50 plus 62, right? Yeah, 62.5. I'm not good at all at math. So let's do it. Margin left minus 300%. And finally, for 100, 87.5%. the exact same thing. Save it. And now let's see it. So first 4 seconds delay, then movement, then again second frame that is doing nothing, then again movement, then waiting because it's doing nothing, then move, wait, move, wait, move, wait. That's how it goes. Can you show the CSS screen again from the beginning so that we can take assess and try? I'm going to share you, Varsha. Don't worry. I'm going to share this code. Guys, have we understood all of this? Please tell me first. Have we understood all of this? Everyone? Guys? Okay. Now let's use what people are saying me to use it. They're telling me to use transition delay. So I have to simply write it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment this. First of all, I'll copy this. Okay, so let's copy this. Copy, paste it again, and let's comment this out so that we will have a copy of it. And now let's try using transition delay. Okay, hopefully it should work. Let's see. Now again, I'll not need these things. I only need 4 frames again, normal back. So again 4 frames, and now let's go and apply transition delay. Okay, now guys, tell me, where should I apply transition delay? On the children's, on the ELE? Are you telling me that? Yes, Rishabh, we can make it responsive. Normally, it's very simple to make it responsive. Now, you guys tell me, I think someone was suggesting me to use transition delay. Where should I use it? Should I use it on ELE? Will it work on the child elements? Should I? Okay, transition delay of, let's say I put 2 seconds. Save it and let's see it is working or not. Is it waiting for 2 seconds? Really? Let's try 5 seconds and let's see if it is waiting for 5 seconds. Save it and let's see. Nope, it's not working. It's not working. It's not waiting for 5 seconds, right? No one is waiting for 5 seconds here. Are you sure you guys have to do transition delay in child? Or does transition delay do something else? Is transition delay for slowing down the animation but not stopping things? Why do I have to write an end child? It's the same thing, right? Prashant, it's the same thing. ELE. Simply it is getting applied to all. Right, Prashant? Why do I have to write an end child? There is no need of writing it an end child, right, Prashant? Yes, Geetika, now you got it. That's what I'm saying. Transition delay is not for stopping. It's for just giving time to the element. Right? Time to move. And it's, I don't think it's written in children. Right? Because there is no animation property on the children. There is no animation property on the children. If you want to make it wait, you can use that frame technique, or there is one more technique that we can use, but that is something we are skipping for today because we don't have that much time. Are we cleared, Prashant, buddy? Are you there? Are we cleared with this? I hope your confusion is cleared. Prashant, are you there? So if you want to make things wait, like literally stop, you can use the frames to stop them. Okay. Transition delay doesn't make anything stop. It basically slows down. Okay, that's it. So guys, let's remove this. And let's switch back to the normal waiting thing. See, animation duration and transition thing, I think in this case, both are same. So whatever you feel for doing with transition, you can transition duration, you can do it for animation duration. Don't think of using transition duration in here. I'll suggest you to do that. That's just a waste of thing here. Either you go for transition, either you go for animation duration. Okay. Okay. Now guys, let's remove the scroll bar, and to remove the scroll bar, you simply have to go here and write, instead of overflow scroll, write overflow hidden. That means all the overflows will be hidden. Okay. And here we go. Now we don't have the scroll bar. And now my slider is also moving perfectly. And guys who are seeing there like a glitch thing, like not a smooth animation, don't worry. It is a smooth animation. It's only because of the screen it's going like that, because of the online sharing. Yes, we can pause the animation. Yes, yes, yes. You can do something like this. See, animation is happening on main child, right? You can simply go here. Oh, sorry. You can simply go here and do something like this. Hover, and you can say animation play state paused. Just like running, you have paused. Now see, refresh. Now see, it is moving. Go on it and it's paused. That's how animation play state helps you. Are we cleared, everyone? Rishabh, CSE, AGMR, are you cleared, buddy? Okay. But we're not going to need it right now. Now, let's focus on writing text on the images. Now, we are using background images. That means technically, there is nothing inside the div. That means whatever you write is going to directly come on the images. Since we are using background images, we are free to write anything on the images. We are free to write anything on the images. So now we can simply go here and we can like create a div. Let's give it a class of slider underscore content. And let's say write chilled mountains, something like that. Okay. So I have a div named slider content and I'm writing chilled mountain in there. Let's try to see, we are using background images. That means technically divs are empty. So whatever you write, that will directly come on it. Yes, we can also add dots, Rishabh. We can also add dots, but those dots will not work in this case because we don't have JavaScript. For that click and move, we need JavaScript. That's why I didn't add the dots. Okay. So now let's do it. Guru is asking, भाई वो CRUD API का front end integration करने वाले थे ना, आज कब करोगे? I think उसी दिन कर दिया गुरु. मैंने उसी दिन कर दिया. वो 2 दिन का सेशन था. So first day I did the backend and second day I did the CRUD integration. On the second day only. It was on Saturday and Sunday, right? So Saturday ko I had made the API. I made the API, and on Sunday, on 30th, we did the front end integration, Guru. It was not meant for today. We did it. You have to find Sunday's session on Let's Upgrade site. You can get it. Okay, guys. So now let's write slider content. Let's give it a height of 200 pixels. JS के लिए भी लाइव करिए सर. हाँ, yes करेंगे. JS के लिए भी करेंगे अनुष्का. Yes, JS essentials भी होंगे. Perfectly. आपको अगर if you want to learn JS, you can go back and watch all my JS essentials. We have it on Let's Upgrade channel. Just go on Let's Upgrade, search for JS essentials. You'll get all the things related to JS. I have given like a lot of JS things in there. You can watch all of them. Okay. Now cool. Let's move ahead. Let's give it a width of like 40%. Let's give it a background color of white. Let's see if it is there. Here we go. The divs are here. That's cool, right? Now let's go here. Let's adjust margin left of around how much? 30%. Margin top of around 200 pixels. Display inline block. Okay. Now let's adjust this text. See, I'm doing very basic thing. You can make it look really more better and more good, right? It's up to you. Font family, CJO UI. Okay. Line height, 200 pixels. text align center, save it, and let's see. It's going out because of the font size is big. So let's see font size 50 pixels. Yep, here we go. Font weight bold. Here we go. And just for background color, I'm not going to use white. I'm going to say RGBA 255, 255, 255. Prapti, there are like kinds of elements. So there are inline elements who by default go inline. There are block elements who by default go in a vertical direction, even if they have space. So inline block is a kind of element that follows block and inline both. That means it will go in inline direction, and also it can have height and width, because inline elements cannot have height and width. That's why I need height and width, and also I want the elements to go inline. So that's a hybrid element, inline block in CSS. It's just a basic CSS, inline block. So we have inline elements, we have block elements. Inline elements cannot have height and width, and they go inline. Block elements go in vertical direction, but they can have height and width. I want both. I want height and width, as well as I want my element to go in inline. That's why I write display inline block. Here it was not needed, but I just wrote it anyway. 0.5 transparency. Let's see, we should have a, yep, now we have a transparent white div here. You guys can see it, right? If you want, you can also give it a border. So border 10 pixel solid white. Can make it look like a photo frame like this. It's totally up to you. It's just a very basic thing. It's totally up to you. What do you want to do with that? Okay. Something like this. You can also give it a shadow if you want, like this box. Shadow 0, 0, 10 pixel gray. Save it. Not gray. Let's give it black. So you can, now it's like 3D thing. It's coming up. Let me pause the animation so that I can show you. Let me activate that. Okay, this main hover, so that it doesn't move away and you can see it perfectly. Now see, I have kept my mouse here. Like I've kept my mouse there, and you can see now. See, it goes like this. Right now, if you want, like, you can increase the height a little bit. Work on it. Work on it. It's up to you. Work on it. Okay, now let's do color white. Let's see if, and also let me increase the size to 300. And margin top now will be 100 only. Save it. And line height will also be 300. White is not looking good at all. So let's reduce the transparency to 3. White doesn't look good at all. Remove that color white. Here we go. Now see, it's very basic. It's very normal. It's up to you. It's CSS. Do anything you want to do. Style it. Make it look bad. Make it look good. It's up to you. Add it in every slide. It's up to you. Totally up to you. I don't have a lot of, like, we don't have a lot of time right now. We're already above time. This session was meant to end at 9, but we're at 9:30. But I really hope that you guys understood everything. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the session. Please let me know in the chat, guys, if you enjoyed the session, if you understood everything. Okay, and then we can end the session. Inline block property use नहीं करने पर कोई इफेक्ट होगा टेक्स्ट पर? नहीं अनुष्का, in this case inline block नहीं यूज करेगा तो भी चलेगा, कोई इश्यू नहीं होगा. Anushka Somani, in this case, if you don't use inline block, it will still work perfectly. Don't worry about it. Okay. And for basic HTML and CSS, I think you can just go for like sites very famous like W3 Schools, and I think there is also one more. What's the name? Tutorials Point. Like those are the sites where you can learn basic things. So I'll suggest you to use W3 Schools, the best for basics. When I started, that was the first site I visited. That is everything. The best for learning basics is W3 Schools. Yes, guys, you can leave now. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the session on YouTube, on Zoom. Please let me know in the chat, guys. And I will see you tomorrow exactly at 7:30, where we will learn about flex boxes, transformations, transitions, and everything, and some properties that maybe you have never seen before. So we're going to see all of that tomorrow. And I really hope you understood everything today. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, some people are also asking for my LinkedIn ID. I think you can simply go on Let's Upgrade community. search for Saurabh Gupta and you can get everything about me there. Okay. You can also tag me and write your doubts. I will solve it. Everything you can view my profile. Everything is there. Okay, guys. So just go on Let's Upgrade community, create your account, get in. You can do a lot of stuff here. You can search for all the trainers. You can get to connect with all the trainers. You can ask your doubts, post everything, post articles, read articles, do everything. Is that clear, everyone? So guys, thank you so much for attending, and I hope to see you all, every one of you that attended today, and also tell your friends and everyone to also join in so that they can learn new things. I hope you will do that. I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. Thank you so much, guys. Please mark your attendance. Bye-bye for today.
Thank you so much, sir, for the amazing lecture.
Yep. Can I just tell one more thing, Paridhi?
Yes, sure.
Yes,
sir.
guys asking for code. Don't worry. On Let's Upgrade community, I'm going to post these 2 files. You can all go on and download from there. So you have to create an account on Let's Upgrade, free account, create it, search for me. I'll just simply post a public article with these 2 files. You can get it there. Is that clear, everyone? I'll post it on the Let's Upgrade community. You can download it there. In the next 1 hour, it will be available. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. Mark attendance. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30.
Thank you, sir. Shall I end the meeting then?
Yes, we can end it now.
Yes, just a small thing. As sir told, guys, please mark your attendance because it is compulsory in order to be eligible for the examination. So kindly mark your attendance without any fail. Thank you.
Anushka is asking for attendance link. Do we have attendance link in the YouTube?
Yes, this is the same, sir. I already sent it. You can
on the
check
YouTube.
it
In the YouTube.
Okay, I'll just send it there also.
Guys, it will be pinned in now in the YouTube. For YouTube people, it will be pinned now. You can find it there only. Okay. Just please focus on the chat. You'll get an attendance thing in the chat right now. In some time, maybe in 5 seconds.
I have sent it, sir.
Now, guys, it is sent. It will be available anytime in 2 or 3 seconds. Please find it out and mark your attendance, guys. See, Paridhi Agarwal has sent an attendance link. Please find out and mark your attendance, guys. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay, sir. Bye. I'll end the meeting here.
Yeah.